Hello, my friends, Gary Golds and fellow poets. Welcome back to Conversing with Poets. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. I was sitting here enjoying the jazz and saying hello to everyone on the stream chat, and then suddenly realized I didn't have a coffee for the stream, but it boiled quick enough. So, hello, everybody. How's it going? Welcome back to Conversing with Poets. We haven't done a Conversing with Poets in a while. I couldn't go another week without doing Conversing with Poets. But I don't have a topic for part two, so we're going to do a Q&A. So throughout the stream, at least throughout part one anyway, please make a note of any questions you want to ask for part two, and I will answer them. Hello, Mitchell Malone. Hello, Lotus Flower. Hello, Mark. Hello, Genevieve. Hello, Chris. Hello, Dazzle. Hello, Delgal. And hello, Ghost of a Goddess. Hello, class. Good to see everyone. Everyone is here. There seems to be a new feature. Uh, there seems to be a new feature by YouTube. There's a community thing. I don't know. They probably emailed me about it and I completely missed it. I probably didn't pay any attention, but yeah, people have got crowns and numbers, and then there's a little community thing in the chat box if I click it. I don't know what it means, but cool. Thanks, YouTube, I guess. How are we all? Hello, hello, hello. What is everyone been up to this week? What's happening? What are you writing? And if you are watching, please don't forget to hit that like button. We've got 12 people watching, but only 4 likes. You know what to do by now. It does genuinely really, really help the channel. You guys are doing amazingly well. Thank you so much for all of the support. I really, really appreciate it. I wondered what they were. I honestly have no idea. It's a new feature. As I say, YouTube probably sent me an email about it, and it's somewhere in my inbox getting ignored because I don't pay any attention to my emails anymore. It's crazy in there. Hey, brother, how are you? Hi, White Death. Just wanted to remind you that you suggested a beginner's poetry book. I forgot what it was. I suggested a beginner's poetry book. Knowing me, it was probably Stephen Fry's Ode Less Travelled, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, I've noticed these little crowns, numbers, and I don't know what they mean uh, either. I think the more you comment in the stream, the higher your crown number is. I'm not entirely sure. I'm honestly not entirely sure. But if you go into the chat box at the top right, at least for me, I'm assuming you guys have it too. There's a community tab and there's a leaderboard. I think the more you type in the chat, the higher your ranking, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. There's a question mark here. Community leaderboard. What's the leaderboard? A place for fans, I hate that word. A place for followers to stand out in the community. The top 3 get special badges in live chat. Ah, okay. It resets every stream. Hang on, Mods just sent me a photo. Ah, yeah. There you go. Thanks, Danny. I just found it too. It resets every stream, so it's not channel wide. It's each stream is reset. So that's cool. So you can always try again. How do you get on the leaderboard? You'll need to collect experience points. It's like an RPG game. You'll need to collect XP. Here's how you get them. Send live chats, send super chats, send super stickers. So there you go. That's a new feature. So far, Delgo is at 1, Mitchell is at 2, and Mark is at 3. I just clicked the crown and it says leaderboard. Yeah. Yes, that's the one. Stephen Fry's The Ode Less Travelled. There you go, White Death. You're welcome. Just wrote a haiku sonnet after watching your video this morning. Nice. Excellent. Good work, everyone. And look at all those hearts coming in. Oh, you do spoil me. You do spoil me. Now, we do have a topic for part 1. Poetry editing. Because guess what? I debuted a new poem on the channel today for the channel members. We haven't had a poem, I don't think we've had a poem on the channel since Paws and Wings, which came out in September. So it's been a while. It's been a while. So if you're a channel member and you haven't caught that yet, there is a new poem in today's members video. We have been busy, as Adam is aware. Yeah, happy birthday, Mitch. I saw Mitch and Danny yesterday for Mitch's birthday. We celebrating Mitch's birthday all long weekend. We are pooped, yes. And if you're not following me on Instagram, Adam Gary Poetry, check out my story. It might have gone now, actually. We didn't have just one birthday cake. I think we had like 5 birthday cakes. We were spoilt for choice. So thank you, Danny. Ooh, shiny. Yeah, I've got a new shiny. I run poetry mic, open mic nights. And anytime a poet says, this is a new poem, we have some audience participation where they all shout, ooh, shiny. So, yeah. Next year, 1 cake per year alive. What? 1 cake per year alive. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Mitch, you're going to need 29 cakes. I think you're 29. 28 this year, right? It says different on my screen. It says Mitchell is number 1. Oh, interesting. And Mark is number 2, and I don't have one. Oh, well, then the leaderboard must be broken already. So that's fun. So yeah, we've got topics. What was I saying? How to edit poetry. We're going to talk about editing poetry. We're going to exchange some advice. I'm going to get some advice from you guys, and I'll kind of try and tell you how I edit and how I work. Because I have been editing a new poem, which is nice. So yeah, channel members, it's on the channel. Um, I don't know when it will go out on the regular side of things. I'm going to record it properly. I haven't even finished it yet. It's still just first draft. Um, so I'm going to do some more work on it and then I'll share it publicly at some point soon, I'm sure. But we're going to discuss poetry editing techniques. Part 2 is going to be a Q&A, and I've got quite a few news stories for you tonight. Some of them are really cool. One of them's really interesting. I can't wait. It's in the title. British poets like lawnmowers and like lawns. Did you know? Give Adam a follow on Instagram. Thank you so much, little Danny. I appreciate that. Um, so, when we first started these streams, I wouldn't get into it until we hit 7 likes. On my screen, we're sitting on 5, and we have 13 people watching, so that's quite a few people who haven't hit like just yet. So please hit that like button. Let me know you want to get into the conversation. I can't wait to share these news bulletins with you. So hit that like button and we can get started. Until then, how's everyone's week been? How's everyone's weekend been? I know Danny and Mitch, as they said, they've been busy celebrating birthdays. Mark has written a haiku sonnet after watching the short that went on the channel today, so that's cool. What's everyone else been up to? Let me know. Oh, and okay, I see 7 likes, so we're almost ready to get uh, into the conversation. But before I do, I was so inspired after Poets in the Shed last week, the stream, and we were talking about the hunt videos, and quite a few of you were saying you really want to see some more hunt videos, and I really want to make them for you. So after that stream, I started planning some stuff, I started researching, and I found for the mods who might be wondering, I've left this in the notes section of our stream sheet tonight. There are some links, but not in the regular section. They're down in the notes. If you wouldn't mind just sharing them with everybody. I found 2 Airbnbs that we can do hunt videos on. I found 2. One of them is connected to Jane Austen, and one of them is connected to a poet who, admittedly, I haven't heard of yet. I'm not sure what his name is, but it's connected. He is a poet, and there is an Airbnb in his house. So I'm really excited. However, I'm sharing the link just so you guys can see if we do them. It will come at a cost. So if at any point during this stream you can spare a channel membership or a super thanks, not only will your community leaderboard thing go up, but that will go towards these Airbnbs if you want to see some on the hunt videos. So I did find them for you guys, and as I say, one is Jane Austen, and one is another poet who I haven't heard of before. Nice, merry, and class. A simple week. I did finish one of my longest poems. Hi bun, nice class, excellent. I binge watched North of North. I've not heard of North of North. What is that? Oh, hi, Mary. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I didn't see you pop in there. My apologies. Hi, Mary. Writing a poem about Picasso's blue phase. Nice. Nice. I read a poem the other month about Rembrandt as well, the self-portrait of Rembrandt that he did at, I'm not sure how old he was, 59, maybe 60 something. I'm not too sure. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. We're 11 minutes into the stream already and we haven't gotten started. We have hit our like target. So let's talk about some breaking news. All right, I love this first one. When this came up, I was like, this is, oops, 1 second.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Dazzle in the Dark, for that super chat. That will be put towards the Airbnbs for On the Hunt videos. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Yeah, so moving back to... No, I've gone to the wrong one. I went to the wrong screen, my bad. We're in breaking news section. And as always, whilst we do this section, there is a little chat box somewhere up here if you want to throw in some fun little breaking news sections. I personally get a lot of joy out of reading your fake news sections, headlines, should I say, so please do. But our first headline today, study highlights poets' obsession with lawnmowers. Yes, apparently the British poets love lawns and lawnmowers. I can attest to this. I do love a freshly cut, well-maintained lawn. I don't know, it's very satisfying. But academic research suggests British poets have been writing about mowing the lawn for nearly, get this, 375 years. We are as simple. British poets get pleasure from simple things. The study published in Critical Quarterly argues there is a lawnmower poetry tradition that dates back to the 17th century. Author Francesca Gardner from Cambridge University admitted it might seem random to write poetry about mowing. Lawnmowers draw people to poetry as much as poetry draws people to lawnmowers, she said. I love it. The university said that the study revealed Britain's poetic obsession with the lawnmower, which has been used to explore themes such as childhood violence and addiction. Ms. Gardner's study claims lawnmower poetry reached its high point in the last 50 years. In 1979, Philip Larkin described killing a hedgehog with a motorized lawnmower, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so hopefully one of the mods has popped the link to that article in the chat. Thank you, Genevieve. It's great. It's about people living in the North Arctic and one person's life, lots of humor and twists. Nice. People keep telling me to watch that Lotus Flower. I highly recommend. Well done, Dazzle, and thank you. Yes, thank you so much, Dazzle. And thank you, Genevieve, for sharing the link. You should totes watch, Genevieve. I love the smell of freshly cut grass. Yes, right? I wrote a poem about this before. Are you British, class? Are you secretly British? Did they have lawnmowers in them days? Well, that's what I was wondering too. But I think the obsession is with the lawn, and more recently with the lawn mower. And maybe in those days maybe they had a lawnmower, or maybe they just used cutters or shears. Nothing like a well-cut lawn, right? Is there a word for the smell of cut grass? I feel like there is, but I can't think of what it is. There's a word for the smell of fresh rain, I think. I'm sure there's probably a word for the smell of freshly cut grass. If anyone can find it, let me know. Art is a great inspiration for me as well. Nice. Absolutely. Petrichor. Yes, yes, yes. Cut grass means hay fever, and I didn't think my hay fever could be getting any worse. Oh, was I so wrong? Oh dear. Sorry to hear that, Dazzle. Well, the king just wasn't in Ottawa, Canada. Yes, and I was raised by a British Englishman. Nice. So maybe that's where your pleasure in cut grass comes from. I love fresh new dew on the grass. Yeah, that's beautiful, right? That's poetic. Now, if you want to read the actual study, I did find a link to it from the researcher's LinkedIn. And again, it should be in the additional notes mods. There should be another link for that, for the actual research paper uh, for that. Thank you, Genevieve. There it is. So if you want to read the whole paper and the whole research on why British poets love the lawn and the lawnmower, there's the link for you to read about it. What about No Mo May? I didn't know that was a thing. Is that a thing? I didn't know that was a thing. All right, let's move on to our next piece of news, which I'm really, really excited about personally. Before I talk about it, I just want to confirm Massachusetts is a state, right? Because you got Boston, Massachusetts, and I know Boston is a city, of course. So Massachusetts is a state, right? I just want to confirm that before I say why I'm personally excited by the next bit of news. I've never heard of it before either. Yes, it is a state. Excellent. So, yes, I'm personally really excited by the next piece of news because Massachusetts have uh, announced their very first poet laureate. Why am I so excited by this? Because as I suspected, Massachusetts is a state. It's really great, I think, that there is a laureate just for the whole state. I'm pretty sure there's a Boston laureate as well. So I'm not sure what that relationship is going to be like. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure they're going to love working together. But as you may know, I run something called the Surrey Poet Laureateship, which is a county-wide laureateship. And counties and states are basically the same thing, I think, unless someone can tell me otherwise. But we call them counties. In the US, they're called states. And I think that counties slash states really should have a laureate that overlooks the entire um, state and county. So I'm really excited to see that that chain of thought has caught on, or that chain of thought is now also present in um, Massachusetts, and they have a whole state laureate. So I'm just going to quickly open the link and read some of the article to you, but Genevieve has already put the link in the chat. So if you want to have a read, by all means, please do. But yeah, congratulations to poet laureate Reggie Gibson. Um, an assistant professor at Berklee College of Music and an instructor at Clark University. I don't know why I struggled through that. He has been selected as Massachusetts' first poet laureate. Governor Maura Healey made the announcement during a ceremony at the Peabody Essex Museum in Salem on Friday. That's cool. Salem. I'm guessing that's the witch trial of Salem, right? Salem. Gibson will work in our schools, our public spaces, our community spaces to amplify poetry and creative expression in Massachusetts, she said. And he will help us ensure poetry continues to thrive as an important piece of our cultural landscape. This is exactly what I'm trying to do here in Surrey. So this is awesome. I'm really happy to read this. I think it's a great idea. It's good to see. I love that I love that cities have laureates and of course nation laureates. There is a poet laureate of the UK. I'm not sure if the US has a national laureate. I think they do. I think they do. Um, I'm sure they have a young laureate because I think Amanda Gorman was young laureate. But again, please correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. Um, I don't want to read the whole article. The ceremony Gibson took me 3 years to read this book from front to back. That's out of context, so I won't read that. Gibson concluded the ceremony with a reading from his poem Massachusetts, a song of itself, revolution and resilience. Friday's announcement coincided with the Massachusetts Poetry Festival. Awesome. So, yeah, that's really cool news. I'm really excited by that. I love the idea of it. Um, and I'll keep my eye on that keenly to see what they're doing and maybe even pluck some ideas too. So, yeah, I thought that was really awesome to share. Let me just catch up in the chat before I share the next headline. Bum, ba, ba, ba. We have counties too. Oh, you do? Oh, well, then I'm totally confused. I'm totally confused. So you have states and counties. You even said Massachusetts correctly. I did? That's good. Uh, no mow may. Let pollinators hang out by not mowing. Yes, problem is when you mow, the habitats get destroyed. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, I think we have that here too. The only problem is it got quite dangerous at road junctions because everything was so overgrown you couldn't see. But yeah, I'm all for that too. Got to save the bees. Every year I plant bee-friendly seeds, but they never grow through. I don't know why. I don't know why. My poppies have just come through. I was going to post on a story on Instagram, but I didn't get to it. Is a campaign in Ireland to save bees and other insects like butterflies. Yes. Yeah, we do have that here too. I I, I remember a couple of years ago it being a big thing, um, but they didn't massively publicize it this year. States have counties in them. Okay, interesting. State and individual town poet laureates. Right. We have counties in the US too. States are like mini countries. They even have their own governments under the federal government. Right. So I think our counties are still your states. And then we have what's called boroughs. So we have borough councils, county councils, and then obviously the government. Maybe I think that's how it works here. Boroughs are your counties, maybe. Yes, it's true. Mowing causes havoc on the little creatures. I personally love wild grass flowers, but here in the city it's actually illegal. What's illegal? The not cutting or the cutting? The US has a poet laureate and a youth poet laureate. Yeah, that makes sense. From the American Library, right? They decide the laureate, I think. I think. Yes, we have a US laureate. I thought so. Yes, the US has a poet laureate, and there are states that have their own too. Well, it's so very surprised that Massachusetts is only just doing this with the whole Harvard vibe up there in Boston. Right. Well, we do have another uni to come actually to talk about in our news. The birds probably eat your seeds before they have a chance to grow. That's probably it. Try growing them inside first before you plant them outside. Perhaps you should think about like other countries have twin city. Perhaps there should be twin country poets. US states are most like your kingdoms of Wales. Interesting. Okay. Connecticut has 8 counties and 167 towns. Wow. It's illegal to have wild overgrown from lawns and backyards. Illegal. Wow, that's intense. Okay, a quick Google makes it seem like your counties are possibly more similar to our state. Yeah, I'm fairly confident in saying that. And then I say we then have boroughs within the county, which could be your counties. I'm not sure. But anyway, next headline, we move to Mumbai. Now, this is something I know a lot of poets worry about, and rightfully so. And first off, this is just allegedly. This is just an article that alleges theft of poems. And remember, innocent until proven guilty, even though we seem to live in a society where it's the other way round, guilty until proven innocent. And we've gone back to Salem witch trials, where if you drown, you're innocent, but it's already too late. Anyway, so Mumbai poet Amir Aziz accuses Anita Dubey of theft, claims she renamed, rebranded, resold his anti-CAA poem. Again, allegedly stolen. Amir Aziz, a poet who gained prominence in 2019 during Anti-Citizenship Amendment Act and National Register of Citizens protests, and is known for his Sab Yad Raka Jayega anti-CAA poem. I'm not sure what that means. Anti-Citizenship Amendment Act. I'm not sure what that is. Recently accused artist Anita Dubey, sorry, of taking the same poem and turning it into her art. Accusing Anita of theft, claimed his poem was written in velvet cloth, another carved in wood, hung inside a commercial white cube space, renamed, rebranded, and resold. Uh, Aziz had published the poem on his YouTube channel in 2020 during the protests, which gained immense prominence. And this is what I say. I know we've spoken about it a lot, and I get asked this fairly frequently about, sharing your poems online and it being plagiarized or stolen. One of our first streams, I think we looked at a serial plagiarist who basically took other Insta poets, TikTokers. They took someone else's work and made it their own. I'm sure you can search the Conversing with Poets playlist for that. I'm sure it will have plagiarism in the title. So yeah, it's a real risk, unfortunately. It is a real risk, but I always say I think there's more to gain in sharing your work online than there is to lose. But it's a real risk. It's a real struggle. Hi, Tanya. Welcome to the stream. So good to see you. But others say it's more like comparing England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. More Googling needed. Yeah. Hi, Tanya. So good to see you. So good to see you. A real Massachusetts vibe today. Salem, a cool yet creepy place. I would love to visit Salem. I would love to visit Salem sometime. I'm just going to read a bit more of this article. Um, I just want to see if there's Aziz has reportedly requested equal compensation for works incorporating text from his poem, and the issue is currently being discussed by the legal representatives of both parties. Anita Dubé's response: a day after facing allegations of using Amir Aziz's words in her artwork without permission, artist Anita Dubé reportedly stated on her social media that she had made an ethical lapse by not crediting Aziz. Dubé's post, however, was visible only to those on her friends list. So again, allegedly. So it's all allegedly. The art gallery. What did the art gallery say? Quote, ensured that the works Amir Aziz has concerns with were not offered for sale, end quote. So again, I haven't read the whole article there. There's more on that, but feel free to read it in your own time. The link should be in the chat. More Googling needed, yeah. All right, let's move on to our last piece of news for this stream. Gosh, we're already half an hour in. We're already half an hour in. I apologize. I've been going on and on and on. But this comes from Brown University. With $2 million Mellon grant, Brown scholars will unearth a treasure trove of African poetry. With support from a Mellon Foundation grant, Brown researchers will build a database of African poetry, complete with poet biographies, scholarships, news coverage, and more. Have we read this? I mean, I made sure every article I shared was within the last week, but I feel like we've read this already. Does this ring a bell to anyone else, or am I just having a deja vu? Kwame Dawes, a professor of literary arts at Brown, said bringing more African poetry to light could help scholars untangle society's complexities in Africa and beyond. Quote, I believe poets are the chronicles of the sentiment of their time. End quote. Absolutely, they are. Quote, if you didn't know anything about Uganda, but then you read some poems from Uganda, it would unlock your empathy and imagination. You'd immediately understand something about the way people there exist and feel. If we make more spaces for African poets, we can understand more about human existence. End quote. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So really awesome to hear that was it 2 million? $2 million has been thrown into poetry research. Uh, and yeah, it looks like that's going to be a really cool thing to have a database of African poets. I did travel to South Africa a couple of years ago, absolutely fell in love with it. Um, I wrote a poem called Djembe. Some of you might have read it. Uh, so yeah, and one of my favorite poems is called Africa. I love reading it. It always brings a tear to my eye. Africa. I forget Africa. I'll find out during the break. But yeah, awesome stuff. Really, really cool stuff. So that is our headlines for today. We are 31 minutes into the stream, so let's get into topic one, editing poetry.
Wow.
All right, fun fact, Massachusetts used to be called Massachusetts Bay and included the state of Maine. They were divided as part of a north-south compromise. Interesting. So is Maine not in Massachusetts? I thought Maine was in Massachusetts. The internet can be treated sloppily at times. Fleeting. So fleeting. I'm actually in Massachusetts today. Wow, there really is a Massachusetts theme today. My home state. Nice. Nice. All right, so poetry editing. Poetry editing. The reason I wanted to discuss this tonight was because I kind of caught myself doing something different with the poem I was telling you guys about at the start of the stream. A beautiful one. I'm originally from New York State. What was I saying? Yeah, I caught myself doing something differently. Usually when I work, I just write. I just get it down. I get the first draft down. I put it away and I leave it for 2 weeks and then I come back to it. And I still think that I'll come on to that. I still think that's a good idea to do. But suddenly, oh well, ignore that, Adam. I've only just seen that, Danny. Sorry. I've only what was I saying now? My brain's frying. Breathe. What was I saying? Yeah, I caught myself doing something different where I was heavily editing the first stanza. Heavily editing. And by that I mean I wrote the first stanza and I had a few ideas for lines and I knew where I wanted to get to, so I quickly wrote that down. But then I just spent about 3 hours right Adam focus. Focus, Adam, focus. Yeah, sorry. Huh. I spent about 3 hours just trying to perfect the first stanza, which I've never really done before. I've never done that work that way before, which was interesting. And then I stopped, and that was Friday night. And then last night, first yawn of the stream. And then last night, I really focused on the second stanza, and kind of that's how I'm working through it. And as I say, I heavily edit stanza one. I've never worked this way before. Usually, I just write stream of consciousness, write the first draft, put it in the drawer, leave it for 2 weeks, and then come back to it for draft two. So, yeah, tastes change. The way we work evolves over time, and I guess I just wanted to talk about tips for editing. I still think it's really important to put it away for 2 weeks and then come back to it, which is what I'm going to do when I finish draft one. But I thought it was really interesting. I was like, oh, this is a new way of working. I've never worked like this before. So I just wanted to get your thoughts in the chat on how you edit and what you do. Um, Another piece of advice that I will always stand by, and you might have heard me say it, I think I even have a video on the channel somewhere about how to edit poetry. Um, I was trying not to. I was trying not to, but it got the better of me. Um, I'm getting more into 9-11 syllable lines. New for me. Oh, 9 to 11 syllable lines. New for me. Interesting. Yeah, it's really fun. I love exploring new things, but I didn't even mean what was interesting was I didn't even mean to do this. Like I didn't sit down and go, I'm going to work in a different way tonight. It just kind of happened. And as I say, it's okay to evolve. It's important to evolve and change the way we work. But I was going to say one of the things you have to do, well, you don't have to do. Hey, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. But a really good idea, a really good thing to do that I would absolutely recommend doing is making sure you keep hold of every single draft. See, once you open the floodgates, they just come bursting in. keep hold of every single draft, and that's hard to do when you work electronically. You have to consciously remind yourself to save that draft somewhere. Save that draft, either start a new draft. For example, I started working on my notes app in my phone. So when it comes to draft two, I will start it underneath draft one. Don't completely delete draft one. Don't completely, Danny's keeping count. Don't completely delete any drafts because sometimes we can over edit, folks. Sometimes we can edit, and refine until eventually you run the risk of destroying the soul of the poem, which is the soul of the poem is what led you to write that piece, what you know the real rawness of it. Sometimes you can edit that out of a poem and you can lose it. The mod's job is to count yawns. This is a thing now. This is a thing. Um, Sorry. Yeah, you want to make sure you keep hold of every draft so that if you over edit and you lose the rawness of your poem, you can always go back over your previous drafts to find out which draft was the last draft that had the real gut punch to it. And then you work back from there. I just put them in a Word document, draft one, 1A, 1B. Yeah, nice, nice. Yeah, that's the perfect way of doing it. That's the perfect way of doing it. My new draft is on page one of my document. That works. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna shield it with my mug. You can't see it. If you can't see it, if you can't see it, it didn't happen. Does anyone else have some little techniques, some little advice when it comes to how they edit poems? How do you guys edit poems? Yawns and Lawns, new stream title. There you go. There you go. There it is. Thank you, Genevieve. We can hear it. No, 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 you can't. No, you can't. Nothing happened. Oh, this is crazy. We can hear that yawn. All right, oh my goodness, I should put yawn as a blacklisted word from Nightbot because the more I read the word, the more it happens. And I've got my little preview here that shows me how the stream's going, and I can see myself back yawning, which triggers it again. Google Docs has an option to duplicate the draft. So you can make a copy and edit the second, marking the draft number in the titles. That's a great idea. Thank you, Ghost of the Goddess. Yeah, I'm learning to not bring too many subjects into one poem. Right, yeah, that's a good one. Have another coffee. I had one before the stream. I'm having one during the stream. I'm definitely caffeinated. You'll have no one left in the stream. What do you mean? Oh, you mean because Nightbot will keep banning them? I feel when I've edited enough, when that happens and I sense that it's finished, I leave it alone. Maybe read it again day after day until I know that I can leave it as is. Yeah. The trick is you really should leave some time between it because you're so fresh. You know exactly what you're trying to say. Um, and I do it all the time where I feel like I've expressed it perfectly because it's fresh in my mind. I know exactly what I'm trying to say, which is why I put it in the drawer for 2 weeks. Forget about it. It's not fresh in the mind. And then I come back to it, and if I read it and I go, that's still a pretty good poem, or if I go, not a great poem at all, I know whether I need to work on it or not. It's usually the latter. I normally read what I typed up already and then just edit it. I don't tend to keep original copies. I just edit the one copy, which probably isn't great. Well, again, you don't have to do anything I say. Um, it's just what I've kind of picked up along the way. Um, yeah, just in case sometimes we over edit something and we lose the soul of something. And that this goes for anything. Screenwriting, novel writing, just writing in general. Sometimes we can over edit it and over analyze things, and we lose the real the realness, the humanity of a poem gets stripped away. So just be careful, just be mindful of that. Another coffee. We can hear that yawn. Oh no, I've just read the word again. It's gonna set it all off again. What's over here? Nothing. Nothing. No, Genevieve. No. Would you like me to share the haiku sonnet I wrote this morning? Yeah, go for it. Go for it. We will be doing a poetry challenge today as well. And the prompt is growth. The prompt is growth. When we get back, we will do a quick challenge, and the winner will get a free bronze membership to the Poetry Cove for a month. What else are we doing? I'm sure I've got something else written down. Maybe I'm just thinking of the additional link. Oh yeah, and the Q&A. Think of some questions. I don't know if I can. I think that might actually be something I can set up here. Start a Q&A. I'll start that during the break. We'll do a Q&A in part 2 as well. So I'll need you to give me your best questions. They don't have to be poetry related. Obviously, it's a poetry channel, and naturally, we're all poets, but they don't necessarily have to be poetry related. But just keep in mind that we do steer clear of politics, as difficult as that is. We do steer clear of politics and religion. But anything else within reason, you can ask away. But just think of your questions for now. Think of your poem based on the prompt growth. Um, Making a draft is a great idea. On a recent poem, I over edited. There you go. Oh, by the way, hi, Labelle. Um, Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. I didn't see you pop in, but so glad that you're here and didn't lose the meaning. I over edited and didn't lose the meaning, but some sections ended up over detailed and had a separate flow to the other sections. Right. So there you go. That's what I mean. Sometimes you can over edit, and maybe in a previous draft, the meter and the flow was there, so you could quickly just go back to that and be like, okay, this is the last place where it still had all of that. Uh, Rika, hi Rika. Welcome to the stream again. I didn't see you pop in, but I'm so glad that you're here. I'm only able to write when there are strong emotions in my heart. Otherwise, I'm not able to. Hey, that's fine. I mean that sounds like that sounds pretty normal to me, right? Um, yeah, we've talked about this a lot on the channel. It's a fine line. There's a fine line depending on where you want to take poetry, right? Some people just love poetry as a hobby and there's no pressure, but some people, they're chasing poetry. They want to publish, or they want to do something with their poetry. And if you're that person, there's a fine line between not forcing a poem and letting it come naturally and living life and gaining those experiences. And then on the other side of it, maybe you're commissioned. Maybe someone's commissioned you to write a poem. I used to do Fiverr, and I used to do commissions and write poems for people's weddings and stuff, which is a huge honor. Oh my goodness. Um, but in that instance, if the muse isn't with you, you need to you need to find it from somewhere. Um, but don't worry too much, Rika. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Yeah, that sounds pretty natural. And you're amongst poets here, so I'm sure many, if not everyone in the chat can relate to you on that one. Titans, trees, contain trunks. Those where's it gone? Splendid sentinels trek tall, touch the sky with truth. Magnificent lives roundabout, all else continues. Circumstance, show, consistence, longevity, immajestic sun, incredible size, stateliness, quiet guardians. Same. There you go. Lotus relates. I relate. So honestly, you're not alone on that one. But thank you so much for sharing as well. Thank you for sharing and jumping in and anyone else in the chat that can give some advice, by all means, I'm sure it would be appreciated. Poised in living stillness, they are perfect providers. So yeah, growth is your prompt for the poetry challenge. Don't put your poem in the chat just yet. We'll get them all together in part at the start of part 2. And think of some questions that you might want to ask, poetry related or not, for part 2 as well. Poetic form rules can help us pop out a poem we didn't know we had in us. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Prompts as well. Find some prompts. Uh, you can find them from anywhere, or you can even give yourself a prompt and set yourself a time limit. And hey, it's not going to get a masterpiece out of you. It may well do, and if it does get a masterpiece, all the better for it. But it will get the creative juices flowing, right? And it will get something. You will get something out of it. That's my haiku sonnet. Nice, nice. Yes, I loved your comment on the short video today, Mark. I love the energy. Well done. I enjoyed your piece. All right. We'll probably go for a break soon, but if you haven't hit that like button yet, you know the drill. If you haven't hit that like button yet, please do hit that like button. I'd really, really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And again, I found some Airbnbs for On the Hunt videos. So if you want to see more On the Hunt videos or bigger style uh, content, please do consider becoming a channel member or a super thanks. It would be much appreciated. But yeah, if you haven't hit that like button yet, please, please do. Thank you so much. I see someone's hit that like button. I appreciate that very, very much. Um, okay, I'll start the Q&A. Say something. I have to say something to start a Q&A. Okay. Q and A for part 2. Start Q&A. Oh wait, what have I done? Why did my chat go all funny? And it's gone blank on the screen. What did I just do? Was that mooing in the background in this morning's short video? It, okay. All right, hang on. End Q&A because we don't want that just yet. So if I do a Q&A, it kills the chat box? That doesn't seem right. That worked. That seems really not great. That seems really not great. So if I do a Q&A, it kills the chat box. Oh, I'm confused now. Now it says that this stream has crashed. It says the stream crashed. Everything's going crazy. My brain is going haywire. No, I don't think there was moves in the video, but I do live near a theme park, and there was screaming from people on a roller coaster, so that might be what you were hearing. Oh, I think the chat goes away when the Q&A runs. Yeah, that's really weird. I don't know why that is. That seems silly. But who am I? I am not a software developer. RE editing. Jericho Brown says there's at least one brilliant line in every bunch of lines we write, so don't throw them away. That's a great point, Doreen. Yeah, that's a really great one. Also, when you're doing exercises, poetry exercises, just again, as I say, even if it's just to get the creative juices going, if you don't get a great poem from that, you might get a great line that can then become a title or you can use in a different poem. So, yeah, it's all good to collect. It tried to crash. Little buffering, that's all. Okay. So yeah, we won't do the Q&A style in the chat box because it will cause issues. So just think of some questions, and when we get to it, just throw them in the chat box. I think we'll go for a break now. We'll go for a break now. It's all fodder for the mill. Exactly. Exactly. We'll go for a break now, grab some coffee, go to the loo, whatever you got to do. And when we come back, we'll do a Q&A and we'll do the poetry prompt challenge. The prompt is growth. And if you bring 7 lines to the bench, you're all ready to write a duplex. Nice, Doreen. Thank you so much. All right, let's take 5, guys. See you. Every time I say that, I think burgers. Let's take 5 minutes, and when we come back, Q&A and poetry prompt challenge.
Wow.
Hey, we are back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. If you have returned from the loo, from the kitchen, from boiling the kettle, whatever it is you had to do, let me know in the chat. Let me know that you're back. Hello, poets. Hello. I avoided the coffee. I know. Oh, I'm not going to say the word because it'll just start things again. I probably should have had an even stronger coffee. I probably should have had a espresso or something. But I made myself a chamomile and honey tea instead. I mean, there's probably caffeine in here, but I don't know too much about teas. I'm the worst Brit. I'm a I'm an embarrassment to my nation. I don't drink tea. I drink coffee. So sorry. But yeah, I've got a chamomile and honey tea. I'm ready for a Q&A. I'm ready for a poetry prompt challenge based on growth. Mark's poem is already in. Thank you very much, Mark. So if you have a poem, please start it off with poem in big capital letters so I can find it easier in the chat. But yeah, feel free to start posting your poems based on the prompt growth. There is no caffeine in chamomile. Cool. That's basically sleepy time tea. That's just what I need. That's exactly what I need. Sleepy time tea. Bring it on. Awesome. Always making the sensible choices in life. No, that's okay. I kind of want to unwind anyway. I should I should have loads of caffeine in my body, so I don't know what this yawning thing is. It'll always be a mystery. I think we've kind of pretty much put it down to poor ventilation, which makes sense. I must away and okay. I don't know what just happened. I started reading messages from Genevieve, and before my eyes, they disappeared. I don't know if um okay, okay, okay. I thought Genevieve was saying goodbye, but it was the poem. With so much further growing. Okay, that's still part of the poem. Awesome. I'll still wait for some people to get back. I feel like we're missing a few people still. But yeah, feel free to start putting your poems in the chat. The Barley Fields. We got 3 poems so far from Ghost of a Goddess, Genevieve, and Mark. Thank you so much, everybody. By the way, can we get a huge thank you for our mods in the chat before we get going? Can we get a big thank you and a big round of applause and just lots of love in the chat for the mods for always being right on the minute with the links and all the stuff they do behind the scenes, and they're always at these streams week in week out, making these streams as enjoyable as they are. So let's show our appreciation. There's the hearts coming in on the chat box. Thank you so much. They deserve all the love. One day I may write a serious poem for the prompt, but not today, and maybe never, if I'm honest. Okay, we got a poem from little Danny as well. Thank you, Danny. Oh, damn it, mine got split. By the way, my poem is inspired by the Jewish holiday that is tonight. I took a more mundane approach. Nice. Thank you, amazing mods. Spot on each time. Absolutely, they are. Absolutely, they are. Ah, yes. Chaval, 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 chaviol. Hopefully, you have cheesecake on hand. Oh, you know, I've been doing sensory poems in my workshops all week, and it's really triggered my senses. So just reading the word cheesecake right there, I'm like, oh yeah, I want some cheesecake. Oh, it didn't on Adam's screen. Yay. What is the name of the Jewish holiday, please? Oh, I see it. Thanks. I'm just looking for it, but I don't see it. Unless because I'm in top chat again. I always forget to go into live chat and I'm always sitting in top chat. Boom. I'm gonna go back to top chat just so I oh, okay. Salvo. Sorry if I'm not saying that correctly. I apologize. I apologize. All right, we'll give it a couple more minutes. I'll give it until 5 past, so I'll give it a few more minutes. No, a couple more minutes. Um, for more poems to come in. If you're sitting on a poem based on growth, do make sure you get it in soon before 5 past. I don't think we're having cheesecake this year, but we have other dairy treats. Nice. We're planning on having root beer floats. Nice. What is a root beer float? I've had root beer before, but what makes it float? Root beer isn't huge over here, but we do have it. But I don't. I know that root beer floats. I've heard of this before, but I don't know what a root beer float is. Thank you so much for whoever just described. We're sitting on 8310 now. I appreciate it. Add a scoop of ice cream. Oh, okay. So like a milkshake. Is it like a milkshake? Or you just drop a scoop of ice cream and then it floats, and that's what makes it the float? I think I got it. I think I understand. Wow, this mug is really hot. As well as the yawns, I think we need to count how many times. Nope. We need to count how many times I've burnt my mouth and burnt my tongue on these streams as well. Literally just drop a scoop in. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, it was Mitch's birthday, as we said at the start of this stream. It was Mitch's birthday yesterday. It was a birthday barbecue. And it was the first barbecue of the year, which means it's almost barbecue season. I love a barbecue. I love cooking barbecues. They're my jam. And I got a very American, I feel like it's a very American thing now. I'm going to have a root beer float and a barbecue. Oh, I'm excited. Drop the ice cream on top. The same worn soda. Worn soda floats. Coke, lemonade, etc. Oh, with. Sorry, I could have literally just looked underneath. With. Same with soda floats. Coke, lemonade. Okay. Soda froths up when it touches ice cream, so it gets a cool texture. Oh, not me celebrating. I just know of it because of friends. Right. Okay, got you. Oh, I can't wait for barbecue season. Oh man, my senses are alive right now, and I'm tasting the cheese. Oh, woo! All right, it's 6 past. Let's do some poetry prompt challenge. Let me see. Is there a feature? There should be a feature where you can search the chat box, so I can just search poem in capitals. But let me scroll up. I know Mark was the first one to submit one in, so let me find Mark in the chat. Okay, here we go. Something's different that didn't happen before. What does that signal? I'm here. Thank you very much, Mark. That was Mark's poem on growth. Genevieve, we have I thought I might. Thanks, Genevieve. I thought I might yawn, but then it was gone. I think the urge might be growing. Pretty sure on my face it's showing. Not sure how much longer I can hide it. With so much fervor growing inside it, I must away and mow the lawn. Oh shoot. Oh no. I just must yawn. Thanks, Genevieve. The barley fields have been lying empty for a month now. Their grain harvested for the year, the fields of wheat are filled with prostrated yellow braids, sitting out to dry, in celebration of our harvest, before we set forth to the orchards. One day I may write. Oh, I was about to read that as a poem. One day I may write a serious poem for the prompt, but not today, and maybe never, if I'm honest. Danny, poem. For the record, that one was not a poem. That was just me making a mistake. Poem. As I leave my family and friends behind, I take flight. My stop, a beautiful meadow with endless sights of wildflowers and tall grass. In time I settle, penetrate the soil, and anchor my roots deep within the soil. I prepare for my turn for growth. Nice. I, I think that's a poem in the POV of a seed, right? I like that. That's beautiful. By the way, my poem is inspired. Thank you, mods. Yeah, thanks again, mods. Poem. Am I missing any? Am I missing any? Am I missing any? I don't think we're having. I'm way up here. Okay, here's the. Have I missed any poems? If you've submitted a poem that I haven't read yet, that tea sure is working fast. I mean, I haven't even tasted it yet. I'm just the steam went up my nose and it's already making me tired. Have I missed any poems? Have I missed any poems? If you've submitted a poem and I haven't read it out loud, please let me know ASAP. Yep, seed inspired. Yeah, I like that. That was nice. What's that? 9, I think? 9 yards? 10? Okay. I'm gonna assume that because no one said anything in the chat, I've read all the poems. 9, I believe. Yeah, I think so. 2. All right. So, all right. Okay. We gotta pick a winner. Oh, gotta pick a winner. All right, let's get a drum roll in the chat, please, folks. I'm not sure if Class is still here, but Class has a signature for this that I love. But drum roll in the chat, please, everybody. I don't know if my mic muted me for that, but drum roll in the chat. This mug is piping hot. I'm scared to even. Oh, it's not too bad. The mug's hotter than the tea. There it is. Yeah, we got some trickin'. Got some trickin' drumsticks. There it is. Yeah. All right. Drums in the chat. Okay. And the winner is, for this week, I'm going to award it to Danny for the poem in the perspective of a seed. I really like that. That was really beautiful. I'm going to read it again if I can find it. Where is it? Oh, I've lost everything now. I can't even find it. Oh, yeah. As I leave my family and friends behind, I take flight. My stop, a beautiful meadow with endless sights of wild flowers and tall grass. In time, I settle, penetrate the soil, and anchor my roots deep within the soil. I prepare for my turn for growth. I like that. That's a nice one. That's a nice one. All right, cool. So, Q&A time. I need to write tired more. Hey, I need to write tired more often. I think there's probably some science in that. I was having this conversation the other day. I can't remember the exact science behind it. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna shift for 2 seconds. There is a plane literally going over my head right now, and I'm assuming the mic is still doing a great job in muting that out. And it is so refreshing. When I do my regular videos, my camera doesn't block out planes, so I'm mid like chat, and then I have to stop because the plane goes over and start again. Um, my last two videos, I've accidentally in next week's video on Tuesday. You might have seen it if you're a channel member. Early access is already live. But in my last two videos, I forgot to cut out uh, a first take. So I'm like, I repeat the same words twice. My bad, my bad. Um, but yeah, I love this mic. And I can't remember what I was saying before now. I didn't hear the plane, Adam. This mic is amazing. I love it's so refreshing that I can just keep talking, even with a Boeing 747 or whatever it is, to go over my head. Q&A time. Thank you, Genevieve. All right, so it's Q&A time. So the rest of the stream is in your hands, folks. It's in your hands, the viewer, the watcher. Sorry, guys, telephone call. No problem, Tanya. So good to see you. And pop back if you can. If not, have a great evening or afternoon. Um, yeah, the rest of the stream is in your hands. So ask some questions, whether they're poetry related, whether they're life related, whether they're related to 90s skater boys. I've been listening since our last stream. I've been listening to Limp Bizkit and all that sort of stuff non-stop. My inner skater kid has well and truly reared its head. So yeah, Q&A time. So ask me any questions you like. Go, Danny. Well done. Ask me any questions you like within reason, of course. Um, but yeah, go for it. It's in your hands now. And if a question is asked, of course, this is called Conversing with Poets. So it is a conversing stream. So anyone in the chat, if you also have an answer to the question, feel free. Feel free to do so. I think Adam should dress like a skater boy next show. Well, as someone said in the last stream, I was actually pretty dressed pretty skater in the last stream, in the Poets in the Shed stream. But I have been dressing. Yeah, I have found myself going all skater. From a spark to an ember, or a flame flickering in the fire, just as a growing great desire. Nice, Lotus Flower. Thank you so much for sharing. I guess that's on the prompt. I'm sorry we missed. I'm sorry we missed your poem during the challenge, but hopefully next week. And hey, at least we got to share it as well. Doing much better. Thank you, Delgal. Rough start to the year, of course. Right, we need some questions, folks. Throw in some questions in the chat. Otherwise, I'm going to be talking a load of nonsense, and you don't want that, trust me. Where did you buy that awesome hat? Thank you so much, Tanya. Where did I buy this awesome hat? I bought it in Kingston, in a town called Kingston upon Thames. I run a poetry workshop there every Tuesday morning in the library, and I don't know when it happened. Well, it happened, I guess, when my hair decided to start receding quite a bit. So, and it's gotten long again, and it's out of laziness. Rather than do anything with my hair, I just started popping a hat on. So I had my beanies right in the winter. I was wearing all my beanies. We've got a channel beanie, by the way. It's probably not the weather for it anymore, but yeah, adamgary.co.uk if you want a channel beanie. I was wearing beanies, as you might remember, and then snapbacks and stuff. But I've always wanted a fedora hat for the longest time. And then a couple of weeks ago, I was wearing a trucker hat, and I thought, you know what? It's time. It's time. And I've kind of been saying it a lot on the channel. I'm really sort of in a transitional phase, and I'm trying to embrace myself a bit more and doing the things that I've always wanted to do. So before I might think, oh, this is too flamboyant for me. I'll just put on a beanie or I'll just put on a trucker hat. And I thought, nah, you've always wanted a fedora hat. You've always wanted one of these hats. Go and get it. So yeah, and it was 50% off, so even better. Nice. I went into the shop and they have a closing down sale at the moment, 50% off. So, uh, perfect. Yeah, just stay strong. Yeah, absolutely. Are you a member of any poetry societies? Am I a member of any poetry societies? I'm not technically a member of the Poetry Society here in the UK. I am a fellow of the Royal Society of Arts. I was there just the other night and I got to meet Roger McGuff, which was awesome. He's a cool guy. He's got a new collected book out, collected poems book out. And yeah, I got to meet him and that was really awesome and listen to him. Um, so that was great. If you're not following me on Instagram, Adam Gary Poetry, go ahead and follow me on Instagram and you'll see a picture of me and Roger McGuff. So yeah, the Poetry Cove, I obviously run the Poetry Cove. It's a bit quiet at the moment. I need to drum it up. It's just trying to find the time right now. I'm really burnt out. I'm really, really burnt out. I said that wouldn't happen. Um, so yeah, I really like the idea of starting. You know, you had the Bloomsbury group. You you had the yeah, Rossetti, Raphaelites, the pre-Raphaelites. You had you had the pre-Raphaelites, you had the Bloomsbury group, you had, you know, all these groups of artists throughout the time. I really want to like start a group, you know, a group. I'm going to Kingston, New York for a writing conference this summer. Doreen, there's so many parallels right now. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes, Danny. Hey, hey, hey. How's Harry? Harry's good. Harry's such a big boy now. He's really coming into like his adult body. He's really filling out and stuff. Uh, but he's still crazy. He's still hyper. He still annoys Dad a lot, but Dad still loves him. Uh, he still he still tries to sit on my chest like he's this big. It's my own fault. I used to lay with him on my chest like this, and now he's like this, and he still sits on my chest. Uh, it's cute, but it's annoying. And he has this terrible habit. I don't know why he does it, but when he like climbs on me, he stamps. He doesn't just like gently climb up and lay down. He literally, I watched him do it. He kicks his foot down. So I'm convinced he does it on purpose. But yeah, he's still adorable. He's still lovely. I was going to have him on the members video today, but I ran out of time. Do we have tolerance for another Massachusetts fun fact? Each town in Massachusetts is named for an English town or historic person. I know that, yeah, I know there's a couple of places in the States that have the same names as places over here. So, like Richmond, Kingston. Um, I think there's even a London somewhere. Um, but yeah, that's cool. Can you give me an example of a historic person? Bruno, my friend Bruno, who I've spoken about a lot on this channel, was in Canada recently visiting his cousin, and he went to a place called Stratford, which is near a river called Avon, and the town was called Shakespeare, I think. And we found it funny because it's literally copy and paste. If you didn't know, Shakespeare is English. He's from a town called Stratford upon Avon, and the reason it's called upon Avon is because there's a river that goes through it called the River Avon. So that was weird to see, to find out. No, Adam, I for your song you was humming. Oh, dun, 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 I. Yeah. Yes, you will stay for this cuddle. You will stay for this cuddle, Dad. Yeah, that's what he's like. He'll just sit there so awkwardly on my chest, and it's yeah. I love him though. Hartford, Northampton. Oh, you have Hartford and Northampton too. It's almost like some British folks came over here at some point, right? They could have been a bit more inventive, though. They could have been a bit more inventive, let's be honest. Copy paste. Like, come up with some new names instead of using all the ones back home. Scarborough. Have you got a Scarborough? By the way, hi, Kaylin or Salen. Good to see you. I didn't see you drop in, but hi. Worcester or Worcester. Quincy is in John Quincy Adams. Ah, that name has come up recently. John Quincy Adams. Why has that name come up recently? John Quincy Adams. You missed Birthday Boy's question. He's sulking now. Why do I always miss Mitch's? Did Harry like his new toy? Harry loved his new toy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Danny and Mitch gave Harry a new toy, or gave me a new toy to give to Harry. Um, Worcester sauce. Hi, I'm from the UK, and hello, everyone. Hello, fellow UK person. All right, hit me with some more questions. He was a US president. Oh, he was John Quincy Adams. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else then. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. I'm thinking of a poet who I was doing on the hunt research for, I think. But I guess it's not this person, John Quincy Adams. So my brain is muddled. You missed Lotus Bucket's question. Lotus Flowers bucket question. So what else is on your bucket list? What else is on my bucket list? Oh wow. Loads of things. Loads of things. I haven't thought about my bucket list for a while. Tokyo, Japan, Asia is on my bucket list for sure. Uh, Skinny dipping is on my bucket list. Don't tell anyone though. Don't tell anyone I said that. Um, what else is on my bucket list? I haven't thought about my bucket list for a while. Trying to think of my yearly to-do list. What's on my yearly to-do list? Solo travel, which I did to Budapest. Hot air balloon, which I did in Budapest. Um, what's on my bucket list? I haven't even thought about my bucket list. Maybe that's what we can do. Maybe we can come up with bucket lists. But apparently also a poet. So I'm not wrong, or are you making fun of me, Genevieve? Mark Keller, I'm a nerd and love history. Nice, Doreen. I love history too. It's fascinating. Doesn't appear to be. Okay. I'm thinking of someone else with three names then, but I'm not sure who. My bad. My bad. My bad. My bad. What's on my bucket list? I need to come up with something on my bucket list. No, I just Googled it to see if there happened to be a poet with a similar name. Skinny dip in a swimming pool, no fishies. I was thinking more the ocean. Oh, no fishies. Oh, you're telling me to do it in a swimming pool because there's no fishies. Right. Okay, fair enough. It's the same person. I'm so confused now. I'm confused now. Right, I need to do I trust Gary Giles enough to give me something to put on the bucket list? Poet and president. And the poet. Okay, so I was. Okay, so I'm not. Okay, cool. That's cool. That's cool. I thought so. But then I thought, oh, maybe it's just someone else with three names. But I do remember John Quincy. I do remember reading John Quincy. So there you go. Mm. Skydive. Thank you, Mitch. Skydiving and bungee jumping is on my bucket list. Have been on my bucket list for a long time, but I feel like I'm getting too old now. I feel like I'm getting too old and it's starting to scare me. Whereas the young Adam was like, yeah, let's jump out of a plane. Now I'm like, yeah, let's jump out of a plane. Bungee jump Bungee jumping scares me more than skydiving. I don't know why. Bungee jumping scares me more than skydiving. But yeah, that is actually, thank you, Mitchell. You've just reminded me. That is on my bucket list. Yeah. Pilot's license. Bungee jumping is more dangerous, I believe. My gut instinct tells me so. My gut instinct tells me so. What if the elastic snaps or you swing into a mountain? I know there's also what if your parachute doesn't but yeah, I'm more scared of bungee the thought of bungee jumping scares me more than oh my laptop battery's gonna die. Yeah, the thought of bungee jumping scares me more than skydiving, not just because of the ground, but something to do with the mechanism of the snapping back. Oh, well, I didn't even think about that. Snapping your back? Bungee jumping is terrifying, right? I could be wrong, but I swear I saw something about that. Hi. Hi, Lotus Flower. All right, I need one more bucket list thing to do before I feel like I've satisfied that question. Um, I did a safari. I'm lucky enough to be able to say that I have actually ticked off quite a few of my bucket list things. Hello, all you awesome poetic people. Hello, mythical meter, and welcome to the stream. Go to Antarctica. That is also a bucket list thing. Yeah. Get your CBT. Yeah, or full license, right? And get a camper van. I've always wanted to get a camper van, but I don't know if these are bucket list things. If I get my people, would you skydive out my plane? PPL, is that what it's called? Plane pilot's license? Yeah. What, on my own without an instructor? Sure. Swim the English Channel? Uh, maybe. Maybe. What is a CBT? I don't know what it stands for, but it's basically your um, license to ride motorbikes, but as a learner. So you have a CBT, which is your first license, and then you get a full license. You have to get a full license. The CBT it only lasts for 3 years, I think. Private pilot license. Oh yeah, fair point. What about a sailplane or parasailing or hang gliding? Yeah, these are all good stuff. All right, I've got my bucket list. I'm just going to add them all. Just going to add all of them. Go. Go parasailing. Yeah, that's something I've always wanted to do too. Wild camping. I've always wanted to do wild camping. Compulsory basic training lasts for 2 years? I thought it was 3. I wouldn't mind jet skiing and going on a hike. Yeah, that would be cool. I love hiking. I love hiking. Oh, I just thought you were talking about cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT. Yeah, that too. That too. Motorcycles are scary. I know Danny and Mitch disagree. Yeah. I went to do my CBT. I've done abseiling, which was fun. Nope, it's 2, unfortunately. That's crazy. I also was like, that's the only CBT I know of, and it was confusing. Good for all. What are you confused about? Many things. Many things. Go to Disneyland. I am lucky enough to have gone to Disneyland Florida and Disneyland Paris loads of times. I know Disneyland Paris like the back of my hand. Although it's probably changed now. CBT or CBD? Doot, doot, doot. Go to all the Disneylands. Yeah, maybe I need to collect Disneylands. Isn't there one in Japan? So I want to go to Japan so I can do that. I haven't been to the one in California. Finally, we're all confused with the abbreviations. You mean Disney World? Sorry, sorry. My apologies. What about rock climbing? What would be fun? I haven't done rock climbing. I've done the climbing walls, and I know Bruno and his brother, especially his brother, are really into rock climbing. So when we were doing the Lake District Bruno's brother was off climbing the mountains. What about abseiling? Yeah, I've done abseiling. Done abseiling. You skipped Mitch again. No, I said I've done abseiling. I didn't. You guys are trying to get me in trouble. I know for a fact I didn't. I said abseiling. I've done abseiling. You're trying to make me out to be meanie. He resent it. Oh, did I miss it the first time round then? Abseiling? Oh, not bad. No, I answered it the first time. Thank you, Genevieve. Thank you. Nice try. Yeah, so if there are any more hot air balloon, so I would like, I've sort of half ticked it off. I've half ticked it off. I did a hot air balloon thing in Budapest, but it only went up and then came back down. It didn't go across anywhere. I'd like to do one across like the canyons and stuff. But so I've only half ticked it off technically. Sorry, that's okay. Outstanding mods. Clap, clap. Yeah, the mods are amazing. Give some love to the mods again. Walking through a rainforest. Yeah, I'd love to. Okay, that's a good one, Lotus Flower. Yeah, the Amazon rainforest. I'd love to do that. Bora Bora would be amazing. I've heard of Bora Bora, but I'm not entirely sure what that is. Yeah, thanks for putting the hearts in the chat for the mods again, because they're awesome. All right, feel free to ask me any more questions. I now have a very extensive bucket list. There you go. Yeah, lots of love in the chat for the mods. I think I'm losing my voice. My throat's getting a bit sore. According to my screen, we're one like away from 20. I know that usually means we're probably already at 20, but if we can get one more like, I'd really appreciate it. Just so my screen says we've got 20 likes. That would be amazing. I'd love it so much. Drink more. I'm out. Oh no, I'm not. I thought CBT was cognitive behavioral therapy. It is. It is. Isn't Bora Bora a part of the Maldive Islands? Hey, we gained another subscriber. That's two subscribers whilst being live. Thank you so much and welcome to the channel, new subscriber. Still haven't changed them. One day we'll get round to it, but there you go. Hit that like button. 2 posts. I've just seen Genevieve's comment in the mod chat. Did I miss something? 2 posts? Both for crazy people. Hey, I take offense to that. It's not a thing, but what is on your anti-bucket list? Anti-bucket list? An anti-bucket list. I haven't created. Oh no. Diane Cowling, welcome to loyal supporters. Thank you so much. Genuinely, genuinely, really means so much that you've become a channel member. Wait, Diane, I thought you already was a channel member. What happened there? Anyway, nice. You're a legend. Thank you so much, Diane, for becoming a channel member. I was pretty certain that you were a channel member, but thank you for taking out a channel membership. I really do genuinely appreciate it. It's going to help us make on the hunt videos and documentaries and stuff like that. So thank you so much. I don't take offense. I am crazy. Yeah, I am crazy too. To be fair, you're not wrong. I'm pretty crazy. French Polynesia, Leeward Islands, nice. So something you never want to do. Okay, something I never want to do. Okay, that is a great question. Something I never want to do. Um, Something that absolutely doesn't interest me. Thank you, Diane, and welcome. Uh, oh, I think all natural poets are a bit crazy. Yeah, it's, I think so. Um, Something I don't want to do. Wow. I try to live my life, and I'm not just saying this, I genuinely try to live my life in a way that I try not to say no to anything. I like to collect memories. FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. I don't want to be on my deathbed and be like, oh, I didn't do that. I guess I don't want to sit and watch paint dry. That's such a cop out because that's such a famous saying. But going a whole stream without yawning, yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go a whole stream without yawning. It's my thing. People in general are crazy. To be human is crazy. You're absolutely right, class. 100%. 100%. Yeah, that's really difficult. I don't know why that's so difficult. What don't I want to do? What don't I want to do? Well, actually, I did think of one thing, but I'm not going to say it. It's against the channel rules. Um, Bora Bora is also a Portuguese song by Michael Tilo. Swimming with sharks. No, I want to do that. That is actually a bucket list thing. That is something on my bucket list. Yeah, I want to swim with sharks. That would be cool. Oh, class. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. What am I saying? Yeah, I don't want to clean sewers. I don't want to clean sewers. I don't ever want to go to a restaurant called Cheesecake Factory. That's a really famous restaurant. I've never been there, but I know a lot of people. I think, Doreen, that's a very controversial thing you've just said there, because I know the Cheesecake Factory has quite a bit of a following, but I've never been. So, that is very specific, Doreen. The Cheesecake Factory. Oh, this is the second time a cheesecake has come up. I'm on this new healthy diet. I lost a lot of weight during the first half of this year, and I'm back in the gym now and I'm trying to build myself up, but I'm doing what's called a clean bulk. Before I did a dirty bulk, so I was eating pizzas and burgers and I wasn't, I was just taking in as many calories as possible. Now I need to hit 3,300 calories a day, but with clean food. And yesterday being the exception at Mitch's barbecue, I'm really missing things like pizzas. Oh, which is a big deal for me because a lot of people know pizza and chicken wings is like my signature dish. I used to love it. I still do love it, and I miss it so much. Um, I haven't had pizza in so long. I had some burgers yesterday, but the mention of cheesecake is really making me want cheesecake. Oh, the restaurant has many food items. How can they be good? The restaurant has many food items. How can they be good? I'm not sure. Cheesecake Factory is amazing. Unbelievable. Skipping my first message. Oh, you guys are on my case today. Swimming with sharks. I mentioned swimming with sharks. Oh, caving. I've done caving. Underwater caving, I've not done. Deep diving is a bucket list thing. I have done caving. It was quite scary, actually. It was quite scary. I almost got stuck in a cave once. I personally never would want to be the person that had to clean sewers. Yeah, it's like going to East Side Mario's. Don't get that reference. Sounds like a New York reference. Balance. Beans will satisfy your craving for carbs. Beans as in black beans or baked beans. I have been having. Oh, you guys, I'm so hungry. I am actually due dinner, but I love chili con carne. You guys are giving me food cravings. As I said, I spent this whole week working on sensory poems, and so I feel like my senses are a bit heightened at the minute. I don't mean to sound flowery or anything like that. Maybe that's not a thing, but I feel like my senses are heightened because I've been working with them so much this week. Now I'm just craving everything. I can make you a clean pizza. I don't know if that exists, bro, because of all the cheese and stuff. Would it just be without cheese, just tomato puree and dough? But I can't even have too much dough. I'm not allowed too much dough. Ugh. Balance was in regards to Adam's eating. Yeah. Oh, I'm so hungry right now. I'm going to pass out. Don't deprive yourself. Have a cheat day at least once. I just feel like if I have one cheat day, it's over. And I had a cheat again. Don't forget, I had a cheat day yesterday because I did have hot dogs and some burgers um, at Mitch's barbecue. So I did technically have a cheat day yesterday. Cleaning a sewer reminds me of a show called Clarkson Farm. I haven't seen this yet, but it's very popular, I know. Any beans, Adam? Oh, I'm craving. Oh, avocado, yeah. Chili con carne with avocado. I'm hungry. Guys are killing me right now. I feel like I'm going to pass out with hunger. And sometimes with some relief, fresh sheep, soft cheese. I'm not a huge cheese person actually, but I have been eating um little bits. I was gonna say hummus, and I think I'm gonna embarrass myself. Hummus is cheese, right? I've probably just embarrassed myself. Maybe it's not. Don't mind my typos. YouTube Live needs an edit button. It sure does. Do you not like spelunking? Spelunking? What is spelunking? Uh, yes, chili con carne. Doreen, it's so good. Healthy fats. Cleaning the sewer makes me think of movies. Perfect days. I'm getting hungry too. Me too. Hummus is chickpeas. I knew I'd embarrass myself. Hummus is chickpeas, but it's okay. So no cheese. Hummus is basically a chickpea dip with some tahini. Oh, you guys are killing me. I'm actually getting sweaty because you're reminding me how hungry I am, and my stomach is talking to me right now. I haven't watched Clarkson's Farm. I'm sorry. Nah, we can use sourdough as the base. Sourdough is better than typical dough. Okay, you've got my attention. What a funny chat system. Food and sewer talk, right? Right? Where all the food ultimately ends up. Spelunking is a wonderful word that means cave exploration. It does. Okay, spelunking. It's my new favorite word. Yeah, I did some cave stuff. I was in the cadets as a kid, so we got to do some adventure stuff, which is when I went caving. Go for a hole. I can actually feel like they're so cold and the moist. I can feel it right now. Again, my senses seem to be really heightened at the minute. Go for a whole wheat sourdough, even better and still tasty. Here are some great low carb breads: tahini, lemon, and olive oil. And if you're extra, can you pass out from being hungry? Just all of this talk, my belly is really talking to me. I'm getting like shaky and sweaty because I'm just so desperate for food. I mean, white flour pizza dough is obviously delicious, but options exist. You guys are killing me. You guys are absolutely killing me. Oh, clean tomato marinara, chicken, mushrooms and spinach, and small amounts of feta. Yeah, you probably need some food. I'm gonna get some food in a sec. How low is your blood sugar? Well, this is another thing, right? Seriously, this is another thing. I'm not taking many sugars in. I used to drink so much Coke and cola. You guys know that. You've seen me drink it on the stream. And now I'm just not drinking any. So my sugar levels are probably quite low. What's good for sugar? Bananas, apples. I never want to eat Cool Whip again. I don't know what Cool Whip is. Tablespoon of coconut oil. That's a good source of stuff. With your favorite spice or alcohol sugar. You're probably going through withdrawal symptoms. Coke is the worst ever. I feel like I probably am. The way I feel right now might be a little bit of withdrawal. What have you guys done to me? If you are eating adequately, they should be okay. Excellent news, Adam. Kick the Coke. Yeah. And again, skipped. What is going on, Mr. Gary? Why am I being bullied right now? It's like whipped cream, okay? Why am I being bullied? Oh, I need to compose myself right now. Oh, I'm gonna feast. I'm gonna feast. I'm gonna end up ordering a pizza because of this. You need to develop the self-discipline of being able to look at food and not get affected by it. As a diabetic, I can look at food and reject it. Danny asked which cadets. Daddy asked which cadets. I did police cadets. I did police cadets for 4 years. Here, Danny, I'll make it all caps. Which cadets, Adam? You guys are bullying me. You guys are bullying me. I didn't know that firefighting cadets. I didn't know firefighting cadets were a thing. If I knew that firefighting cadets were a thing, I would have loved to have done that. You're getting tough love from your peeps. I know, right? What's going on? No, don't order a pizza. If you have to order something, get something nutritious and delicious. You mean like McDonald's? That was a joke. Oh, I was in C. You were in C cadets? That's cool. I did army cadets for a little while and it wasn't my thing. Wasn't my thing. Right, on that note, let's make use of this community tab thing. So our number one spot for the leaderboard is Delgal. Number 2 is Tanya. And number 3 is Genevieve. So thank you so much for being so interactive in tonight's stream. I was in Sea Cadets. You was Mythical Meter. That's some cool. That's so cool. Scramble some eggs. I do have scrambled eggs for breakfast. For 7 years. Nice. Nice. Oh, okay. It's time for me to go and eat. It's time for me to go and feast. You can imagine me just stuffing my face with food. Go for it, because that is what's about to happen. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. I hope you enjoyed conversing. Hope you enjoyed the news bulletins. Thanks for talking about editing poetry in part one. Thank you so much, Dazzle, for the super chat. Thank you so much, Diane, for becoming a channel member. I appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who hit that like button. Thank you to the 2 people who hit subscribe whilst we were live. I appreciate it. I love this channel and I love where we're going with it. I love that it's growing. So yeah, I really appreciate you guys spending 2 hours with me on your Sunday evening. Have a good week, everyone, and hopefully I'll see you in the comment section of Tuesday's video. If you're a channel member, you've already got early access to that. If not, it'll be public on Tuesday. If you're a channel member, look out for the members only stream where I debuted my new poem. And also there's a short video on haiku sonnets too. So ironic for me, I can't swim. Bye all, have a great week. Yeah, goodbye everyone. Appreciate your time. Take care, happy writing, and see you soon.